There we go. Let's see if I'm live in the group, y'all. Boom. Welcome back to Funnel Friday. I am 15 minutes late to my own stream. I apologize for that. I had streaming issues with everything going on, so reset some stuff. So as of last week, we started doing live critiques, for the lack of a better term, live funnel breakdowns. And I know things have been kind of hectic for everybody with the holidays. You had Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Now we've got Christmas Eve, Christmas, and the New Year's coming up. So we're going to kind of pivot today. It's going to be a short and sweet one. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, mostly because I want to get to the gym. And I want to make sure that we keep the value condensed for you, because I know you guys are busy. I know you guys want to spend time with your friends and family during the holiday, and I don't want to take from that. So I'm just going to give you a small amount of gold. We're going to revert back to what we did 2 weeks ago because we didn't have a guest for this week. For those of you who want to be a guest, in the comments below, go ahead and request, and I'll put you on the schedule for upcoming Funnel Fridays or upcoming lives that we do. And it'll go through Virtually Limitless. So everybody here, thank you for being limitless. Let's get started. Thriving, not just surviving. So you're going to see me look at the camera here, and then you're going to see me look over here for another screen. I'm going to share the screen. Try and get them to play nicely, I guess. We're going to go over a couple things. We're going to go over a mini class launch, which is really popular these days. Because info products, education products, the e-learning or e-teaching space is popping. That's mostly because there's a lot of work from home going on right now, and e-infopreneurs or e-educators are popping. This is a follow-up from last Funnel Friday, where we had my man on who, lo and behold, is an actual teacher helping e-teachers actually teach. So I wanted to continue that trend because a lot of you guys here in Virtually Limitless, believe it or not, are experts in something that you may or may not be aware about, and you have a moral and ethical duty to get that information out to the world, change as many lives as possible, help as many people as possible. And a really good way to do that's digital courses, mini classes, master classes, masterminds. So I'm going to show you a few of those options. So without further ado, let me see if I can get this screen shared on this so we can do this together. Okay, we're going to go boom, boom. You should be able to see it, guys. You should be able to see it. Okay, so we are going to start, and we're going to do this in kind of a unique way, if you guys don't mind. I'm going to start with kind of the concept. And if I can find this document, we're going to start with looking at a document outline of one of the files that I give away. It is called The One Funnel to Rule Them All and the 3 Core Funnels Every Business Needs. I just need to find a copy of it, because apparently I have too many files. Okay. Core Funnels. Almost there, guys. Almost there. All right. All right, guys. So this is actually from 2018 originally. It looks like I have to reactivate my Microsoft Office. But the reason that I want to kind of highlight this first is it gives a good visual breakdown of how to really make more and do less, right? So you've seen Limitless Expansion Secrets. In this book, my chapter is about the Thrive Selling Method. NLP, AER, as well as the Thrive Selling Method that I developed here at Funnel Driven. It's something we teach in the Inbound Secret. It's something that all of you guys, if you don't have a copy of this, you should go get one. I think they're like $5 on Amazon right now for the paperback and like $1 or something for the ebook. Go pick one up. Great read. Ton of great authors. But the reason for me bringing that up is the whole premise of Limitless Expansion Secrets is how to make more, have a bigger impact, help more people by doing less than more, if that makes sense. We don't want you to overwork yourself. We want everything you do to be concise, to have reason, to have impact, to be methodical, and not just busy work, right? So this breakdown is really how to achieve those leveraging online tech. And you can see a couple things here. Like you see screenshots of results, screenshots of activity. You can see that this account spent $8,796 and they got 4,243 leads. That's an average cost per lead of $2, $2.07 to be specific. With an average breakdown of a 48% response rate, demographics, global overview. Today I'm going to show you how to do that, but more importantly, I'm going to show you how to do that in regards to the front end, the top of the funnel, more or less, for a mini class, a micro VSL, a micro master class, something to get clients, leads, prospects in for you to teach, for you to help, for you to educate, for you to make an impact on. That way, all of you who's watching this or who's going to watch the replay can actually go in, make an impact, and before Christmas, make a little bit of profit and change somebody's life. So this one core funnel helps you multiply revenues. It helps you bring in revenues, right? It's called the client acquisition funnel. There are two more that we can go after, but I'm gonna just focus on the client acquisition funnel. So there's a few things that you need to know before I show you the 30,000 foot view. You've got your pre-funnel implementation. This is who your customer is, what you're going to sell, who your ideal client is, what their interests are, where the location is. You have to figure out exactly who you're selling to, what problem there is, what your solution to that problem is, how you're going to fix that pain, and really what kind of impact you can make, right? Now, when you're doing that, there's a few key things. Now, anybody watching this that wants this, hit me or Trey up, and we'll make sure to get you a copy of this. That way you can read it. I'm going to go through it pretty fast. But this is where you need to break down who are your customers. You need to know demographics, professions, interests. You need to know their revenue goal, cost of service, number of clients, what their growth calculation is. Can you actually help them, or do you need to find somebody you can actually help? You need all this information, right? Then you need to know what you're going to sell. What's your solution? How does your solution solve a problem they have? How does it solve a pain point? How does it actually fix a problem, right? From there, you need to go into either service-based or productized services. Most of you here, this is going to be a service-based conversation. While technically speaking, a mastermind, a masterclass, a webinar is a product, it is a service-based product. So you are serving others. You are a servant to others by educating, informing, consulting, and coaching people. So anybody that's looking for help on that, we actually have a process called the 4 Pillars Growth and 5 C's of Scale and the inbound method that we use for that. And most recently, we were able to get a client, I think in the first day, less than $200 of ad spend. They made, 12 grand thus far. They're just shy of 50,000 with only a couple $1,000s in ad spend. So when you follow these methodologies, as long as you're doing it ethically, as long as you're doing it with integrity, as long as you're putting your best foot forward, having faith in everything, and following the system and really doing it to make an impact, it will work, and in droves. So once you figure that out, then you need to start focusing on the content pages, the content videos, how the system's going to really work, right? Cold traffic to warm traffic to hot lead to client. What's that flow going to be? Now, the best way to do that is to have content. As you can see right here, you're going to want 3 to 5 pieces of content to start. The more you have, the more angles you have, the more information you can give, the better that in service you are to your ideal clients. Now, typically that's white pages, it's tips and tricks, it's facts, it's newsletters, it's intent-based branding, it's video content, It's trainings, it's education. It's all value. You're giving away your best stuff, right? And you want to keep doing that. The biggest goal here is you want your content to go viral. You want to be able to have as many people see this as possible. This is all pre-development stuff. Everything we've just gone over is pre-dev. Now we can actually get into the development. Once again, this is called the client acquisition funnel. The version of this that I'm going to show you is called the mini class funnel. It's a smaller version, but it's really impactful for the education space. So just take what I'm showing you here, and then when we go to the outline, the little graph board for the blueprint, I can show you in more detail what that means. Now, the way these work is you're going to push content to push people to an action, an opt-in, a lead magnet, a squeeze page, some kind of information, something that solves an immediate thing they have. If they have an immediate pain, you solve that immediate pain. You anchor yourself as an authority. You anchor yourself as somebody who can solve their problems. You anchor yourself as somebody that's there to help. You're removing yourself from the sleazy salesman side, and you're concreting yourself as the consultant, the servant, the person who will do what needs to be done to benefit others. You're concreting that image. Now, when you do this, content needs to be key here. It has to pique curiosity, and it needs to be good. I do not want to see any of you put out trash content. If your content's not good, if your content doesn't solve a problem, if your content doesn't help somebody, don't put it out there. Don't just do work to be busy. Do work to make an impact and to help people. Now, when you do these, there's different ways you can do it. You can do articles, you can do strategy and tactics, you can do lead magnets for free, you can do multiple things. The easiest one for you guys to do, if you remember in an earlier Funnel Friday, I talked about omnipresence a little bit. And I talked about how you can use OneUp app, you can use Sendable, you can use repurpose.io, you can use these different tools to help you become omnipresent, all from a video recording. Using that type of content helps drive people to your client acquisition funnel. Now, from there, you're going to have a basic sequence. It's nothing crazy, nothing you guys can't do. If you want help doing this, any of us are happy to help, but the sequence is pretty straightforward. A welcome page. You want to include video, copy, lead magnet, contains the same information as your offer, and you really want it to convert your traffic into some kind of lead. You want email, name, phone number, as much info as you think is worth the content that you're giving them. This is going to then push them to, in many cases, a free strategy call. In the funnel that I'm going to show you here in the blueprint, the mini class one, the strategy call is actually a VSL, and the VSL takes place of that strategy call to push people to two actions, either the call or to purchase an e-product, right? Now, this flow is pretty straightforward. While free is the biggest word in sales, you want to avoid using terminology such as free as much as possible. It sounds too sales pitchy. My cat's over here attacking the curtains and blinding me. You basically want to use consult, blueprint, outline, masterclass, education, information, anything that's going to convey that same type of emotion without making you sound like you're trying to sell a 1989 Honda Civic. Now, on the call, after the VSL, in the case of what we're talking about for the mini class, or if you just did this traditionally, it's like a lead magnet on the call, you want to make sure that, one, they've got the delivery, two, that immediate pain was solved, three, the call flow needs to be educational information. This is where Thrive, Selling, NLP, and AER come in, right? Once again, I recommend that you pick up the Virtually Limitless Expansion Secrets book. If anybody's watching and for whatever reason you guys just can't order one, I have a few proof copies. I'm happy to send you one. It talks about this in detail. Now, you're going to basically go through small talk. You're going to build the rapport. You're going to have the before and after bridge. You're going to have the judging where you're trying to figure out if they're a good fit, if you can solve their pain, how that's going to go. Now, this can end in really one of three ways. They're either a good fit and they buy, they're a good fit and they don't buy, and you refer them and nurture them, or they're not a good fit, but they're a good fit for somebody else, or they just don't buy, right? One of those three broad categories. Now, not everybody is going to buy right away. You're going to have some marketing automation and follow-up. This is where the nurturing on the back end, the bottom of the funnel comes into play. Now, in the bottom of the funnel, basically all you're wanting to do is have an automation flow. And the one I'm going to show you today, it's going to be primarily email. It can be anything, but it's going to primarily be email. You're going to be talking about lead magnet delivery, strategy call, content, strategy call, content, strategy call. You don't have to do the strategy call on the phone. You can do it virtually. You can do it with VSLs. You can do it with IBB content. You can do it with phones if you want. You can do it with texts. You can do it with video follow-ups. You can do it however fits you. But for the sake of ease, it's going to be primarily email and automators. Now, if you put all of this together, what you're going to have is a client acquisition funnel. And that client acquisition funnel doesn't have to be wildly complicated. This one's called a mini class launch funnel. This is a client acquisition funnel, but a very simple one. Remember, simplicity sells. Keep it simple, right? This follows that same methodology. So what's not outlined here is the source. So the source is going to be your ads, your omnipresent ads, right? So if we're to go in here and we're going to go to traffic, this is your source. Literally any or all of these can be your source. For most of you, it's going to be Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, right? That comes here right after your ideal client avatar, right after the pre-development, right? Now, from there, they're going to go to the welcome opt-in. This is the registration page. After they've consumed your content, they're going to come into the mini class registration, and this confirms why they're there, lets them know and reconfirms their suspicion of you being the expert that can help them solve their pain, goes through the Thrive Selling, this is your video sales letter, micro webinar, and then goes to a registration for your upcoming actual masterclass or your mini class. The mini class offer lets you do a couple things. It doesn't have to be terribly long. It can be pretty short. It's very time efficient for the revenue you can generate. You can make a huge amount of impact in a small amount of time. And it lets you cross or transition to like a social media challenge, a 5-day challenge, a 1-hour challenge, a 1-month challenge. Very easy, where the traditional masterclass or webinar is an hour to 2 hours long. Mini classes can be 15 minutes, 30 minutes. They don't have to be terribly long, and you can get just as much impact, which saves you time, get straight to the point for your visitors, and really can transition quicker, faster, and with more impact than the traditional model in and of itself. Really, for first-time or newbie participants in this method, I don't recommend not doing a traditional webinar or not doing a longer sequence. They have their place. They benefit. There are offers that are beneficial to them. You just have to find out what your service offering is, what your offer is, and how that benefits versus what the system is. We can go into more detail about that. If anybody has questions, just comment below or tag me. I'm happy to walk you guys through that. Now, let's assume that you've done your pre-development, you've done your research, you know your client, you know your product, you know it solves it. You've done all of that, right? And this, the mini class or the mini launch or the mini VSL or mini webinar, whatever you want to call it, it's called a mini class launch funnel, is the most beneficial to you. Then this is the methodology you'll work. So they go from source to registration, they register. Now, 2 things happen when they register. One, they immediately get transitioned to a thank you page that has 3 different CTAs afterwards. It's got 1 CTA on the thank you page, 1 for the video 1, which is an upsell, 1 for video 2, which is a cross-sell or downsell, 1 for video 3, which is a cross-sell or downsell. Simultaneously, they're also put into an email sequence. The email sequence does the same type of thing by positioning them to go back to the offers from video 1, video 2, video 3, and the pages associated, so that you can systematically walk people up your value ladder elevating everybody at the same time, making a bigger impact, helping more people, and in turn, getting paid for making that impact and helping people. Remember, you get paid directly in proportion to the size and the amount of problems that you solve for others. This helps you do that. Now, this isn't the only way you can do that. There are dozens of different types of these you can do. The mini class launch funnel is just one of the easiest client acquisition type funnels for you to be able to build and develop and use on your own, because it doesn't take a lot of technology, it doesn't take a lot of skill, and it doesn't take a lot of time as long as you're an expert in your field in what you're going to be teaching in your mini class, and it actually makes an impact. Now, you can take these and make these wildly crazy, okay? Like you can see here, here's Kino bodies. There's a bunch of them. Lady Boss has a pretty good challenge funnel. But you can make these really kind of spider webby, for the lack of a better term, right? So I'm going to show you a different style one here in 1 second, if I can find it. Let's use the gym lunch secrets ones, because it's a good base for how this works and what that type of application schedule system follows. Now, this one's a little different. The way this one works is all Facebook front end, and this one doesn't use like the VSL for a mini class. This one actually uses an opt-in to a pop-up, to a full application, to a schedule, to a phone call, and the phone call is where they close. So small variant, but same kind of process. You've got your ideal client avatar, you've got your pre-development, you've got your source, you've got your welcome page, which is your opt-in, you've got your secondary sequence, your squeeze, or otherwise known as your CTA, or your schedule, or your however you want to call it. In this case, it's pop-up. And then it goes to the application phase. The application phase is basically a long survey, qualifier, if you will, to a schedule to make them take action. That will schedule for a phone call or directly into the Facebook group for nurturing, follow-up, upsells, IBB, video content, indoctrination, right? Same kind of sequence. This exact same type of sequence can be used just like in the very first one that we looked at, the mini class launch, to help you do that. Here's the MLM hacks. Some of you may be familiar with this one. This one's more of a traditional style, but you can see the difference between this and the mini class launch. This one's wildly more complicated. It follows the same methodology, though. Here's your source, welcome page, VSL, conversion, order page, follow-up, as well as upsell, follow-up, as well as upsell with a new source to also position to an order page based on retargeting, thank you page, members area, follow-up, nurture, new source, new webinar. You can see the same process. You're going from cold traffic to client, retained, ranting and raving fan, affiliate, etc. You're walking people up that value ladder. This is just a more advanced version. So for all of you that have watched this or are going to watch this replay, and you want to do less work, make a bigger impact, make more money, change more lives, leave a legacy, make good money for helping people, actually helping people. I mean, truly helping people, making an impact, leaving a legacy, changing lives. You want to do it ethically, you want to do it with integrity, you want to do it with morals, you want to be honest, you want to just help. This mini class launch can help you do that in a matter of days, at most a matter of weeks, as long as you have a good service, a good product, and you can actually help somebody. If any of you are kind of on the fence and you don't know if you have that thing, and you just want somebody to kind of help walk you through that, tag me, tag Trey, tag Lucci, tag Andrew, tag any of us here in the group. We are all here to help serve you. Remember, you were made to thrive, not just survive. And I'll see y'all on the next Funnel Friday. Stay limitless, y'all.